I want to start by saying that I'm grateful and honored to be in this podcast with you. And by the way, my name is Chidimma. I'm a Nigerian and I'm a graphic designer by profession, a graphic designer and a UI UX designer.
Hello and welcome to Obehi Podcast. I'm your host, Obehi A14, and I strongly believe that everyone has a story to share. Now let's get started into this episode. What attracts you to art, to design? Why did you choose that instead of maybe other thing that you could have done?
Okay, there is something about art that I have always loved growing as a child. When I was a little bit younger, I had siblings, and there was just this aspect of me that was very creative. I had this ability to be able to look at something and tell if it was going to match up with something. I had this ability to view things and tell if it's going to look good on someone or look bad on someone. So I didn't even know I had that ability. But when I was younger, my parents or my siblings, they would always prefer to hang out with me to get things with them because I had that ability of, when you're trying to choose something for yourself, I'll be like, this color is going to suit you. I like the way it looks on your body. So when I grew up, I was like, what is it that is quite related to this because I was trying to acquire a skill for myself. So I had to review myself and then get a skill related to something I was able to do. So, and that was how I got to graphic design because I was able to tell how colors work, how colors could match together. So I went into design and decided to explore the world of design and know more about it. So that was how I got into graphic design and the arts of graphics.
That's very interesting. So you went into now that you know that you love to do it, and you see your sibling liking what you do. So you decided to study how to do it well, no? So that you can be paid for it. That is very important for us. So what did you do exactly? Like you went for a
Yeah.
training? Yeah. Tell us something about that.
After I was done with high school, I stayed out home for some months and there was just nothing to do. Nothing came to mind to do. I thought of so many skills and there was just nothing. I was just blank. And then I had a brother. He was a programmer then and he is still a programmer. So he saw those abilities in me and I actually also told him because I was looking for a skill closest to something I've known before or something I already had at hand. So he told me about a lot of skills. He talked about animation, he talked about programming, he talked about video editing, he talked about graphic design. But the moment he just mentioned graphic design, I was like, this is going to be a good fit for my personality. It's going to be a good fit and it's going to be something I would enjoy doing for the rest of my life. And then he had an institution he was working for then, and they do train newbies in the skills. So he enrolled me. He talked to my parents. We talked to my parents actually because I was part of it. And then I got enrolled in this academy. And then I think the training lasted for 4 months and 4 months, yes, 4 months. And I was done with it. Yeah, that was how I actually enrolled to an academy.
That's good. And now you're very happy doing what you're doing, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
That's great. So how do you describe the kind of work that you do? I mean, tell me what inspire you? Let's start from there. What inspire you to do what you do, artistically speaking?
Okay, what inspires me is the creativity behind this art. There are a lot of art skills. There are a lot of people that are into design. There are a lot of people in this industry. But what inspires me is that the uniqueness of people in this industry. Someone could be paving way in a company, another person paving ways in a company, but every individual is unique in their creativity. In this industry, people have different visualization. People see things in different way. So it is always good because with these unique personalities, they will always craft something unique, and it's just the creativity behind it that I love about this industry. It inspires me a lot, to go on the internet, see different things, or while I even walk along the road, I see things and then I couple them together. I create something magical out of it. I just love the creativity behind everything about it.
What kind of message flow across your artistic work? Like, okay, your graphic design. Is there any message that along then that makes somebody want to contact you to do graphic for this particular person?
Okay, the message behind my work. Uh, Graphics, it's visual and it has it has a lot of it has a lot of parts in it. Like people could do different things in design. Design is a really broad field. Yeah, so you could see people doing illustration, people just like illustration, and you could see people designing branding packages, and then you can see people designing logos. You could see people doing a lot of things in this field. And then about the message, I think there's something about design. Design has a principle behind it. There's a lot of principle behind design. Design is not something it's more than something you do to look beautiful. It actually passes a message. Every design you pull out, every design you put out should pass a message. And for right now, I don't actually have a particular message I send, but when I work with clients, I try to understand what the client wants, the message the client wants to pass. And in this message, when a client is trying to pass a message, you're actually trying to get their audience to do something. Yeah. So I get to understand the client, the message he wants me to pass through his designs or through his visual creativity, and then I get to do it for the client. Well, personally, I'm a kind of person I love when it comes to design. I love things that are flashy, shiny. So I just don't have a particular message. I work with the message of my client. Yeah, that's the message I pass with my graphics design skill.
Mhm. I see. So you put yourself in it because you have a particular passion for the work that you do. All right, this is very interesting. Um, so what kind of work actually do you do in terms of graphic? I know you did make mention of branding and things like that. Do you also do like web design, things like that? Give me some detailed explanation of your work.
I started out with graphic design. When I started out with graphic design, I first of all learned how to use the Corel Draw software. Yes, then after Corel Draw, I learned Photoshop in my academy. Yeah, that was the two softwares I worked with when I was in my academy. When I got out of my academy, I realized there were a lot of softwares in the internet. So I got to start working with these softwares and that were quite popular and then were quite good for designers. When it comes to graphic design, I do, like I said earlier, is quite broad. You can't do everything. So when it comes to graphic design, I do flyers, I do create logos, yeah, that's brand identity designs. I do art and social media designs. I do invitation in designs. Then recently, roughly 3 months, I got into UI UX design. Yeah, I'm just a junior in that level right now. I got into UI UX design where we produce UIs for websites and then mobile designs. Yes, that is what I do right now.
Mhm. UI design, right?
Yeah.
So, what kind of company need this material, need this kind of service from you? Say, what do they usually use it for? Can you give me some examples?
Basically, every company needs to work with a visual designer because every company is meant to be sending a message to their proposed target audience. And you can do that through a lot of ways, through designs, through motion graphics, through videos, through articles. Yeah, that is by writing. And then, but I think there's just something about designs that every company should look into. They pass a message, and, most people these days do not even like reading. Yeah, most people find it difficult reading these long text and paragraphs you see on the net. So, but designs, when you make it aesthetic and then make it pass and convey a particular message, people are most likely going to perform better. And I think graphics design is a field in this industry, in the tech industry, that is in high demand because almost every company needs to work with this set of people in this field. So I don't think there is any company that is left out. Every company passes a message. Every company wants an audience. So you've got to pass on this message through a design or through other mediums. And design is actually one of them. So I don't think there's any company left out. We work with virtually most companies.
I'm looking at the you now making design, making a combination of material, putting it together. No? Now I'm trying to see what can be the role of color, the importance of color in what you do. Since in most of the cases you are doing graphic design, okay, you are not creating a museum now. You are looking at you are designing something that people are going to see. So of course there are a lot of contamination that is going to be taking place there, color, font, and all that. So tell me about the importance of color in what you do.
All right. Color is an essential part of designs. Like when your colors do not contrast, it can put your reader off. Yes, it can put them off. And then colors are very important too because they pass messages through emotions. Colors are emotional. Every color has its own message. Every color conveys its own meaning. For example, you usually see people on golden graduation gowns. Why? Because golden is a color that signifies winning. Yes, every color passes a particular message. So when you want someone to do something, when you want a viewer or when you want your target audience to do something, color plays a very good role. For example, let's use red. Red has a lot of meaning. Red can be romantic. It can be anger. It's a very shouty color, and whenever you see red, you get to it passes a particular message to you. For example, when you see Valentine's designs, you already know it's talking about a romantic something because red passes that message of love. That is why you always see red and when it comes to Valentine's design. And two, sometimes you must have gone through a website and then you see red in the discount rate. Yes, they are actually using red because they want you to notice it. They want you to get to do something. They tell you that the price for a particular product is $10, but now it is at a discount rate of 5. And then when you see that 5, it passes emotions to you and you begin to act. Yeah, so colors play a very important role in design. They get you with a particular emotion, and when you do not use the right colors, it throws your audience off. Yeah, it throws your audience off, and they might not be able to perform or do what you actually wanted them to do. So that's the importance of colors in design.
All right, in design, I want to believe now that it's also about identity building, because okay, you take up a Coca-Cola material, like you were saying, you always see color there. It's always there, apart from the way that the tests are written, the way that the color also appear is very very important and it's consistent in all their publicity. So I'm trying to understand
Yeah,
here how your work maybe help people to build their brand, talking of maybe the client that you work with.
designs are very necessary. They pass a message. Okay, so my work is to design. Yeah, is information of a company and then get to do what they want me to do. But as the designer, I also have my own principles that I learned from the design industry. And then as a company, they also have their own rules. So now when a company gives you a work, they want you to do something for them, they want you to do a visual design for them. Yes, they give you what you need to do this work. And how do I get to play a role in this? How important is my work? My work is important because it is used in the marketing industry. Yes, these designs, when they are being put out there, they are used in marketing a particular company. And then when you do it well, when the aesthetic is well done, when the visual criteria is well met and everything is done well, yeah, it would pass the particular message you want to the proposed client and proposed audience. And then it's used for this marketing. And in return, this company gets what they want. They get their target audience. They drag them into the company, get them to do what they want them to do.
All
Yeah,
right.
so
Now,
it's
say a
used.
company come to you and they want you to design for them. Maybe they are in the initial phase of their life as a business now, so they have not yet been branded. They don't yet understand. They don't even know how to brand themselves. So, how would you help them through your graphic design to sort of help them bring out their self in the crowd?
Okay, when it comes to the term branding, branding is actually misinterpreted sometimes. Some people think that branding is a logo or it's a color or it's something else. But what branding is actually what someone is known for. How do I mean that? Okay, what do I mean by that? When someone comes to you and say, "Hey, do you know this guy?" and you be like, "No, I don't know him." And then he walks back to you again and say, "Do you know that guy that is always on red shirt with a big forehead?" And then he describes everything about this guy. And then you'll be like, "Yes, I know that guy. I know he just left right now." That is the branding of that guy. He's known for wearing what? A t-shirt. He's known with a big forehead. That is his branding. Branding is not about the company's logo display or what the company's color. That part of branding is known as the brand identity. So when probably a new company calls me and says, "I want you to help us. We do not know anything about this branding story or this branding industry, but we want to get into this industry. We want you to help us get started." Okay, first of all, you ask them what is their aim in this industry. What do you want in this industry? They could say they want to, get started with selling bikes and e-commerce websites for selling bikes. Okay, that is then when they tell you what they want to do in the industry, you already have an idea of what they want to do. Then you start by asking them their desires and the colors they want. If they don't have any color idea, or if they don't have, actually said if they have nothing, so I'm taking it like they have nothing. So when they say they want to start selling bike in this industry, or they want to begin a bike company, then you check out for bike companies already in the industry, and then check out what it is they are doing well, and what it is you feel like you could do better, because as they're about to start a bicycle company, it is going to bring them in competition with these already made famous brands in the industry before. So as newbies that are about to get into this industry of selling bike, they are just there, they are just blank, they have no idea. So you help them by getting them to know what is branding. What do they want their target audience to know them for? Do they want their target audience to know them for providing low quality bikes or providing high quality bikes? Do they want their clients to know them for delivering early or delivering late? These are little things that you should make known to them and explain to them. Then, when they have these qualities at hand, then they are actually in competition with the formal people that sell bikes in the industry. Yes. And you should also tell them that as they are getting into this industry, they have to make the audience see reasons, to work with them. Yes, because they're actually in a competition. They are not the only people in this industry. They have to make clients see reasons to work with them or buy from them. Yeah. So when you're trying to help out a new or a startup company in the industry, you get them to understand that they should have a purpose and they should be known for a particular thing, which is what a good branding. It starts with a good branding, and a good branding is what you are known for. For example, now Google, it has a good branding. Amazon has a good branding. They deliver good quality. They could deliver good quality products. No one has ever complained. Okay, someone would have complained, but I've never seen plenty of bad reviews concerning Amazon. So it is actually a good branding. And then this is what you are supposed to tell this startup company. Then after you are done with the branding. Yeah, you're supposed to have a good branding first before you start thinking of the brand identity. After they are done with the branding, then comes the brand identity. Yeah.
So what are the importance of good quality graphic for maybe a small business that is just starting up? Is it really important for them? What is their importance?
Yeah, good graphics is important because people are always moved by what they see. Yes, and you need to show up in the faces of this audience. You need to show up in their faces to tell them, see you, I'm here and I need you to work with me. And when you have a bad visual representation, like me, sometimes I see a particular graphics and I'm like, it throws me off balance. And I leave the website or I don't even want to know about the program because first of all it has a bad graphic. So I can't be working with something that has something or someone or a company that has a bad graphics. Yeah, bad graphics can throw a client off, it can throw your audience off when you do not properly pass on this message. Imagine where you use colors that do not contrast and someone with a visual problem gets to read through this bad color contrast combination. It's either he gets tired or he gets pissed off and then would not continue to read. So brand a good brand identity and a good graphics is important because it helps you get to your clients and get to your proposed audience. Yes.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, actually, we plan to spend a very short time here. Now, the last question is, how can people connect you? Where are your reference for those who maybe want to contact you?
All right. Okay, so I am in most social media platforms. I am on LinkedIn, I am on Twitter, I am on Instagram as Chidimma. Yeah, that is where I can, yeah, social media is just it's these days putting yourself out on social media. So that's my name, my handle on all my platforms, Chidimma on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter.
All right, there, Chidima. Thank you so much for the time and also for the sharing. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. I'm really honored to be here.
Thank you. If you enjoy this podcast, make sure you subscribe so you never miss any of our future episodes. Rate and review Obehi Podcast and share with your friends who might need it. I remain Obehi Ewafo. Thank you so much for listening and talk to you in the next episode.